Hello and welcome to Birdeye Live, the show that's dedicated to the digital transformation of local businesses everywhere. I am your host, Justin Meredith, and join me as we learn from industry experts about the how and the why for taking your business online and claiming the most valuable real estate on the internet, that first page of Google. Now, today's episode is a special one because we are joined by Birdeye's very own Head of Corporate Communications, Patrick Mendoza. Welcome to the show, Patrick. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Justin. How are you? I want to know. I call myself special, but I appreciate that.
Well, you definitely are, and we are super excited because this is also your first appearance on Birdeye Live. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to Birdeye?
Yeah, no, great question. So I live in Dallas, Texas with my wife and son. I'm a diehard Longhorn fan, as you can see from my degree behind me. So I'm jealous that you're in Austin right now. But yeah, so I've worked for a number of years in doing communications in agency life and politics, in tech. And about 6 months ago, good friends David King and Justin Nizer, who are at Birdeye, reached out to them and said, "Hey, I saw y'all are looking for a head of communications over there. I'd love to join." And it's just been a whirlwind and a rocket ship since I came over here in last October.
That's awesome. Yeah, the UT is right in my backyard. I think I've been to more Longhorn games this year than I have. I'm a Texas Tech guy, and I've been to more Longhorn games this year, which has been kind of sad. But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
And Justin Iser's a great guy. We work with him a lot on our design team. He's a rock star. And so if you have been following us this year, you may have noticed that there's been a ton of amazing things coming down the funnel within all different areas of Birdeye. In fact, there's been so much activity and so many news and announcements and updates that have come out just in the past few months, and a lot more coming up this year, that we felt like we needed to just take a moment and make sure that everyone watching is brought up to speed on all things Birdeye. And to kick things off, we started 2023 with a bang and with a huge announcement. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and what it means for Birdeye?
Yeah, no, it's just been one innovation after another here at Birdeye. It's really just quite incredible, the pace that we've been going. Yeah, we started the year launching an appointments solution, really aimed for the dentist and healthcare industry, where, how many times have you've woken up in the middle of the night, either with a toothache or you don't feel well, or your kid's woken up, and you want to call that doctor's office and make that appointment so you have it in the morning, you're ready to go, but they're closed. And so what appointments does, it helps you, helps the practice have a solution online where you can go in and make that appointment 24/7, have that peace of mind. And it really just helps these practices too, bring in more customers because they're one step ahead of the one that relies on a phone call. So we launched that at the Yankee Dental Conference, and that just was a smash hit. Got coverage in the Associated Press and all sorts of other places.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I mean, being able to make yourself available pretty much 24/7 with an automated appointment scheduling system like that, just kind of takes your practice to the next level. And being just having that accessibility.
Yeah, it's huge. And one thing we sorry to interject with this,
ahead.
one thing that we've been talking a lot too, and Naveen talked about this when he was in Davos, and Naveen Gupta, our CEO, was how much the world has changed post-COVID, and that the customers really want these digital customer experiences, because during COVID, we got so used to doing things online and things like that. So I think having a solution like that really helps these practices out.
Definitely. And so we have also made some other announcements as well regarding, a recent acquisition of Cube Online. Can you fill us in a little bit more about that and what that means for, Birdeye and Birdeye's customers?
Yeah, absolutely. So the acquisition of Cube Online has just been pretty monumental. They really had a solution that mirrors what Birdeye does. And what this does is it now brings our platform to folks in Australia, the UK, Ireland, and New Zealand, and really opens up our markets there. So we're excited to welcome all those Cube Online folks and bring them into the Birdeye nest.
That's awesome. Well, Birdeye's global now, and now we're across the seas, and we're starting to expand all over the world. And I'm sure that expansion is only going to continue to grow. And what about going back? We mentioned appointments, but there's also some other product updates that we've come out with more recently with Birdeye Social.
Yep.
Can you fill us in on that?
Yeah, Birdeye Social is just another one of those, why didn't this exist before? And it took Birdeye to really release this kind of innovation. Birdeye Social really helps these multi-location businesses that have multiple social media accounts. So let's say you're company and you've, say 100 locations and 100 separate social media accounts, maybe you have 3 accounts per each location, and you're having to go in and manually put in personalized posts for each of those spots. Well, what Birdeye Social does, you create one post and it personalizes those across your 100 sites. So it saves massive amounts of time, massive amounts of money, and you're able to then monitor and see across the full spectrum of these 100 accounts, or maybe 300 if you have 3 on each, and really kind of see all of your metrics and your what people are saying and the responses all in one place. So you're able to really help with that. And then we also launched just last week or 2 weeks ago. Look, everybody's talking about Chat GPT. Everybody's talking about AI and what that's going to bring. Is it going to bring about the end of some people's jobs? Is it going to lead to like a Terminator Rise of the Machine type situation? I don't think it's going to be any of those. But what we did is we found that a lot of these local brands and businesses are really struggling to respond to these either these posts on Google or these surveys. And so what our Chat GPT model, our AI everywhere, really helps these businesses do is you click a button and using the same platform as Chat GPT creates the response, a real personalized response. Looks like it was you sat there and typed it out and then posts it for you. And that also just saves massive amounts of staff time, as you can imagine, for these local brands and businesses. And then the announcement we made this week is sort of the culmination of all of these things we just talked about. We announced that 100,000 businesses are now trust Birdeye to run their digital customer experiences. So just a tremendous, and it's the first week in March. And those are all the announcements we made. So, I've worked at big companies like Capital One where we don't even make that many announcements in 3 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, we're not even 9-10 weeks into the year, and we've already got all of these things going on. And it's cool about the social and what you were saying, and being able to kind of manage the social presence of your business, no matter how many locations you have across 300 different locations. And I was really excited whenever we launched this product, because we've always kind of had this like strong positioning on Google. We've helped businesses manage their listings on hundreds of different Google business profiles all over the internet with other listing sites and things like that. But we never quite got into that social space, which can be so impactful and so powerful for business, especially, a local business where, your word of mouth is like the way that you can grow. And so being able to have that presence with Birdeye Social and manage all of the locations that you have and keep things consistent too, because when you're managing all those different locations, consistency is basically impossible unless you have something that can allow you to manage everything from a bird eye view, so to speak.
Yeah. And on the negative side of that too is you don't want one little thing on social to blow up because you haven't paid attention to it. So I think having that, we've all seen, whether it was, an airline that had outages and this sort of thing, we've seen that kind of blow up on social media. You don't want that to happen to your business. So it's nice to have that holistic view of everything that's being said about you.
Yeah. Holistic and in real time. And so, going back to what you were saying about AI everywhere, it's definitely been one of the hottest topics of the year. It's kind of what kicked off 2023 was that launch of ChatGPT in late November. And then kind of have it seems like every day there's 5 new announcements about something else going on with AI. And so it's kind of a confusing time. And there's kind of, a lot of people aren't quite sure what's going to happen. Like, how is this going to impact my business? What, is this going to take jobs? Is it going to make things easier? How will it change the way that your customers find you online? Because as we've seen, Microsoft and Bing, that they've put together their ChatGPT powered search engine, and Google's not far behind. And so there's a lot going on here. And so that's why next Thursday on March 16th, we at Birdeye have compiled an amazing live panel of experts. Brett Tapke, who's the founder of PubCon, Ben Fisher, who's a diamond or platinum level Google product expert. I think I might have gotten that right. Steve Wiedemann, who is a professor in SEO, and he owns his own SEO agency, and he's been part of our webinars in the past and has been amazing with us. And then lastly, Birdeye's chief scientist, the architect behind our AI, Nate Chambers. We're going to have all of them there next week for our webinar, and we're going to just talk about it, and we're going to figure out where are we right now in the world of AI development? What does AI mean today? Because the definition of it has changed over the years. Like you were saying, some people think of like the Terminator type of style, and then some other people think of like a cool chatbot. So we're going to define AI, and then we're going to get real into the nitty gritty of it. And we're going to talk about what specific aspects of your business might be impacted by AI. And then we're going to talk about how you can prepare your local business for this new wave coming and making sure that you're set up for success and don't fall behind. It's going to be an awesome discussion. I'm super excited. I've been working on this and talking with our panelists nonstop for the past few weeks now. And I know they're really excited. But yeah, and then the last thing, like you had just mentioned, have reached 100,000 businesses that we're helping. That is a huge milestone, and I hope that number only continues to grow. But before we jump off today, is there anything else that you'd like to let the audience know before we head out?
No, it's just that, it's really interesting to read the headlines. It's my job as the PR guy. I read a lot of news. It's interesting to read the headlines. You see a lot of tech companies either, de-investing from things or scaling down or laying people off. And we just continue to grow and hire top talent. And so I'm giving a little preview of our next big announcement is, talking about some of these great, really senior hires that we've made of some just wonderful folks that are just going to continue to, we'll get, you'll probably read before too long about 200,000 businesses trusting our platform. Won't be long.
That's amazing. And in that same breath, it's the same thing with our AI. Like, it's been this whole new wave with everybody kind of putting their eyes on it this year. But this is something that we've been around with for a while. And so we're actually going to talk about more about Birdeye's AI capabilities and stuff next Tuesday in our next episode of Birdeye Live. But until then, thank you everybody for joining and for watching, and be sure to sign up for next week's webinar about the revolution of AI. And then also, I think we're going to be pasting some links to some of the announcements that we've made regarding Cube Online and then AI everywhere as well. So be sure to look for those in the comments. But until next time, we'll see you on Birdeye Live.